we're all brand ambassadors for our company on and off the clock. So, and I tell people that just because you're not at work, remember, you never know who's behind you. So whenever I'm out talking about work, I don't say Starbucks in public, I say Lorenzo's. I don't know where Lorenzo's is. It sounds like a pizza shop. I don't know. But I say Lorenzo's because you never know who's right behind you. And so I tell that a lot to my friends as a brand manager. And a friend the other day, she was at a restaurant, and don't you know Howard Schultz, our CEO, was behind her. So she might have been talking about Lorenzo's, which is safe. So, but we're all brand ambassadors, and people watch us. And since we're such a large brand, people listen to us. And a lot of people yesterday talked about how our customers are candidates. And we have to remember that we have millions of people that go in our stores every month, and that all of those people are candidates, whether they want to work for corporate, or maybe they have sons and daughters or nieces and nephews that might be baristas someday. So we always want to make sure that that candidate experience is really good for them in case they come and want to work for us. But I think one of the things that we're doing to help measure that is we're changing recruiter behavior. So we really over-rely on those drop-down menus in our career centers that tell people, where did you find that job? Whether they found it at starbucks.com, which I think is not a source. I personally think that's a destination. Because I then wanted to go into what I like to call employment branding marketing 1.0. We hear a lot about Web 2.0, and I think as an employment brand manager for Starbucks, these are all the things that I think we used to be doing probably just about 6 months ago, where we had brochures, and we still have the window cleans in the stores, and we're still going to continue to have that brand messaging on the stores for any other retailers out there. I think we're moving into employment branding 2.0, which is really about real-time interactive conversations, and we're creating connections and relationships. If we would have created those Facebook and Twitter channels as marketing channels, as selling things, it would have never worked. And we took a completely different approach, and we just built relationships, which is why we have those 6 million people that follow us. So I said I had 4 sentences. The 4 sentences being, we're all brand ambassadors, keep it first person, stick to your expertise, and don't outsource your voice. Because I think we need to remember when we go through a recession and we think everyone's losing their job and it seems so gloom and doom and we're just, no one has a job, everyone's looking. And I see this chart, which is from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Not everyone's looking. The smallest piece of the pie is actively looking. So you hear me talk a lot about passive candidates and how can we reach that 67%, that passive and not looking, and how can we build those relationships with them so that they can then be interested in jobs with us. But this is what I call employer branding marketing 2.0. So we went from 1.0, we went from brochures and window clings and sandwich board signs. So here's what we're doing today. And here's what we're doing with Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And YouTube and Google. And I talk about the source of hires, and we track very, very heavily, as I already mentioned, and the changing that recruiter's behavior on how can we track those sources. And I have little numbers up there because I just wanted to let people know that to date we've had 25 hires with Facebook. We have had 5 hires through Twitter, 30 with LinkedIn, 0 with YouTube, but we've had 20 with Google, but still getting people to come through those channels by even having hiring managers and business unit leaders put on their Facebook and LinkedIn pages that they're hiring that person within their department. So we've then gone out to all the departments, not all yet, we're still kind of doing an internal roadshow, but letting people know that it's just not staffing's responsibility to recruit. It's all of our responsibilities. We should all be doing that every day, and we all have people in our network. And I like to have this chart because it reminds me that even if I have 200 people in my network and each person has 200 people in their network, that's 40,000 people that I have access to. And that's just if everyone has 200. People have thousands of people on LinkedIn right now. So I thought this chart was interesting to kind of talk about Facebook and how it really has surpassed monthly traffic than Google. So think everyone Googles everything. You want to learn something, you go and you Google it. So the fact that Facebook visitor per month has passed Google, it tells me how many people are using Facebook every day. 50% of users that are on Facebook are logging in at least once a day, and they're spending at least 5 minutes on it. So we have to watch those trends on how that's going to keep going up. I'm sure it'll keep moving. We're doing it in a few different ways. We're using the discussion boards, we're doing Facebook ad buys, and we're also using it to talk to our fans. So right now we're doing a lot of research around employment branding, and we're wanting to see what people think about us in the marketplace as an employer of choice. And luckily, they think of us as a good retailer, because that's 95% of our population, but they're not thinking of us as a place for IT professionals, for finance, for marketing, for supply chain. So this is an example of Facebook ad buy. Unfortunately, this isn't just a really good picture of me. This is my doppelganger. Anyone remember their doppelganger? Did anyone do this where you had to put a picture of celebrity lookalike? No? No one did this? I did it. But people don't realize that you have the opportunity to take this space and you can buy this and you can target it. So I don't know if you've ever like checked out Facebook and changed your marital status, or you're having a baby, or you want to change genders. Do that and see what comes up on that side of those ads. It's shocking. It's shocking. Someone said, I don't like all these ads I'm getting. I'm tired of giving me all these old lady ads. I'm like, well, turn 25. See what happens. Well, what you can do is say, I want to target a city, I want to have keywords. So this is an example of an IT ad buy that we did, and we can pull up those keywords. And I might target 500 people. If I open it up to the United States, I might be targeting 60,000 people. And I only pay when people click. So we're getting hires through this way. And to me, this is the new version of a line ad. Right? We used to do print ads, classifieds. This is the new line ad, in my opinion. How many people are familiar with a career widget? So I like this. I think this can really target the passive audience, because I can go and put this on my Facebook page and I can target it even personally, even for internal hires, because that we hear a lot that people internally don't know when openings are going to happen. So they can then put this widget and program it to how they want to have the information served to them. So if they want to learn about marketing jobs when there is an opening going to be at Starbucks, they can put this, and so when we put it in Taleo, it automatically feeds to the widget, and so then automatically tells people that we have those jobs available. So I think that's really cool. And so we want to tell people about this so that they can then share it with their friends. So I like this chart to show kind of how Twitter keeps growing, and it just consistently has grown over the past 7 months at almost 24 million unique visitors. So this is our at Starbucks Twitter page. So we keep it branded. Jeremy and Phil and I, we've worked since probably the beginning of November. We just started this. We wanted to make sure we had these 5 strategic pillars and we have this in front of us. So each day we can tweet about jobs within retail management, retail hourly, positions at the SSC, and then also keep that global reach. I'm an admin of Twitter. What will happen is that I have it set within LinkedIn to pull any tweets that are happening so that it updates it on my LinkedIn profile. So I'm kind of passively recruiting people, or potentially within my network at LinkedIn, just automatically, because I get to be that admin for Twitter. What we're trying to tell people internally is to watch us and then do this on your own, because you can do this manually, or they can retweet us and then it could go through their LinkedIn too. So it's just really cool how social media can integrate like that automatically. I thought this was really brilliant of a recruiter, Kelly White. She was going to a store dev conference in Las Vegas, and she saw that we had tweeted about it, and she wanted to let people know that she was going to that conference. So she found the group on LinkedIn, and then she let people know that she was going to be there, that Starbucks was going to be represented, and that indeed she herself was going to be there, and gave her email address. So if people wanted to talk to her in advance, before she even got to the conference, she marketed herself there, and she used a LinkedIn group this way. All free, easy. I don't know how many hires she just got back, so we'll see how that goes for her. But I thought, what a really cool way to kind of do some PR for yourself. We have a CRM. So we launched this in October. And we now have 75,000 people, prospects, candidates that are in our database, that we send branded emails to people to kind of tell people what's going on at Starbucks. We time them against promotions, or this month is the shareholders meeting, and we'll go ahead and let people know about the cool things that are happening. But 75,000 people, we're going to have a jobs mention. So because people, and this goes kind of back to the business case, people said, how did you get people to believe in the social media at Starbucks? It goes back to our customers or our candidates.
I just have a comment. That was one of the most fantastic presentations I have ever seen, and I wanted to thank you for this.
I've paid a lot of people, but I don't know him, so I love you too.